Good evening, this is Capital News for Tuesday, December 2nd, 2025. I'm Ivor Wharton, and here are the stories we're tracking this evening. UNAIDS urges global action to sustain HIV response in the Caribbean. The United Nations Programme on HIV and AIDS, UNAIDS, on Monday called on the international community to stand with countries most affected by the AIDS epidemic by closing funding shortfalls, dismantling legal and social barriers, and fully resourcing community leadership at every level. The agency emphasized in a press statement marking World AIDS Day on December 1 that these measures are essential for building a sustainable and resilient HIV response. World AIDS Day 2025 was observed under the theme Overcoming Disruption, Transforming the AIDS Response. It highlighted both regional progress and urgent challenges that threatened the reversed hard-won gains. In a joint statement, the UNAIDS Multi-Country Office for the Caribbean reaffirmed its commitment alongside governments, civil society, development partners, and people living with HIV to end AIDS as a public health threat in the region by 2030. The agency warned that with global health aid declining by an estimated 30 to 40%, the Caribbean must guard against shrinking community services, widening inequalities, and emerging gaps in HIV prevention and treatment. Recent climate shocks, including Hurricane Melissa's devastation across Jamaica, Haiti, and Cuba, have disrupted care, displaced families, and deepened vulnerabilities for people living with HIV. Many are struggling to rebuild their lives while staying connected to treatment, prevention, and basic support services. Despite increasing numbers of people on treatment, nearly 30% or 90,000 people remain outside of care, with many at risk of advanced HIV disease. Among those in care, treatment interruptions continue to undermine viral suppression. Yet, the Caribbean region demonstrates remarkable resilience and innovation. In partnership with local communities, countries are sustaining progress and advancing toward the shared goal of ending AIDS. Still, UNAIDS stressed that resilience alone cannot offset shrinking resources and mounting social, economic, environmental, and health shocks. The agency urged strengthened health systems, scaled-up community-led solutions, and guaranteed uninterrupted access to HIV prevention, treatment, and care services. Ending AIDS by 2030 demands urgency, unity, and renewed commitment. More news on the other side of this break.
Beautify your home or office building with high-quality aluminium and glass products from Gafours. Our products are made with high-quality aluminium that is thicker, broader, and more durable than that of our competitors. Available with 3mm to 6mm glass, our line of products includes sash windows, casement windows, awning windows, sliding windows, arch windows, fixed windows, and PVC sash windows that are corrosion-free. Swing entrance doors and sliding glass doors, available with tinted or tempered glass. Showcases, custom built to any size and design. Bathroom enclosures made from frosted and designed acrylic with gold, silver, and white trim. Achieve that modern look for your commercial buildings with quality shop fronts and curtain walls with 6mm, not 4mm glass, manufactured and installed by our trained and experienced staff. Now available, etched designed mirrors and glass, available for awards or promotional events, custom made to any size with decorative trim or polished edges. Remember, for quality products at competitive prices, it's Gafours, the name you can trust.
Thanks for staying with us. $75,000 fine looms for non-compliant vehicle tint after December 31st. Motorists who fail to comply with Guyana's updated vehicle tint regulations will face a fine of $75,000 once the grace period ends on December 31st. This was announced by Home Affairs Minister Onish Waldron during a recent program on the state-owned National Communications Network. She explained that strict enforcement will begin in January, with authorities expected to apply the new rules across the board.
Will be There will be tint meters. Every Guyana, the police officer will have specific meters to test your tint on the spot. And if you're found not to be in compliance, then there will be a heavy fine, $75,000 being levied for not having your tint in compliance. $75,000.
The revised policy introduces 3 distinct tint waiver categories, each determined by an assessed risk profile. Under the new framework, all vehicles must maintain tint with at least 35% light penetration, except in cases where waivers are granted according to the outlined categories.
Going to be categories of persons who are going to be exempt from this 35%.
Okay.
They are going to be allowed to have the percentage that is higher, lower. When the lower the percentage, the darker the tint.
Right.
These persons will be government officials, security related personnel, people, higher ranking security members, diplomats. These are all going to be exempt, these categories of person. And then there are going to be categories of persons with medical conditions that is within the discretion of the minister to grant the waiver of this 35%. So certainly those category of persons will be included, will be considered. They have to have a certified medical condition. So it's not just a citizen suddenly coming up and alleging, that the sun hurts my eyes and so I need to have it. We're trying to make the system fair across the board.
Minister Waldron further stated that amendments will be made to the current legislation governing tint waivers to formally reflect and legalize these new measures.
So we will take the amendment to Parliament. In the amendment, we will outline the regime on which how we're going to execute the compliance. We will outline the categories of persons that will be exempt from the thing which I've already mentioned, diplomats and government officials and security, etc. It will outline how enforcement will be rolled out in terms of the tint meter, how that is be calibrated, how that's going to be executed, the fine period for the fine. So it's going to outline the entire regime, compliance and enforcement in the amendment.
Excellent.
And it's most of it is already drafted with a few.
She emphasized that the updated system is designed to reduce administrative delays and ensure a fairer, more transparent process for approving tint exceptions. Contractor arrested after gun and ammunition found hidden in Linden home. A 28-year-old contractor is in police custody following the discovery of a 9mm pistol and matching ammunition at his residence. According to a police statement, the find was made on Monday at approximately 22:30 hours at the property located on Costello Avenue, Central Emilius Ward, Linden. The weapon, along with 2 magazines containing a total of 48 live 9mm rounds, was reportedly hidden in the ceiling of the house. The suspect was arrested and transported to the Mackenzie Police Station, where the firearm and ammunition were lodged as investigations continue. More news after this break.
Close your eyes for a second. That second is all it takes to lose your eyesight. We often take our vision for granted, but our eyes are the windows to the world. Protect your eyes. Take rest from digital screens to avoid eye strain. Wear safety goggles at high-risk jobs and get regular eye exams by a licensed eye care practitioner. Good nutrition also supports healthy eyes. Eat foods rich in vitamin A like carrots, pumpkin, green leafy vegetables. Eat fruits like pawpaw, mangoes, and oranges. Fish and legumes are great for your eyes too. Smoking and too much alcohol are harmful to your eyes. Avoid putting things in your eyes like salt water, breast milk, or herbal mixtures. Eye health is important to everyone. Love your eyes and they'll love you back. A message from the Lions Club of Georgetown, Durban Park.
He hit me. Will CG United cover this?
Don't worry. Remember when I was in that competitive arm wrestling circuit? 3-time champion, baby! I did feel bad crushing all those arms and dreams. So I took them all out for ice cream. And then we got crushed. Anyway, CG United handled my claims fast.
That explains the arm.
The best cover for the best value. CG United. Good like that.
Welcome back. Regionally, the Caribbean Media Corporation CMC reports that St. Lucia's Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre will be sworn in as head of government for a second consecutive term on Friday after his ruling St. Lucia Labour Party won Monday's general election by an overwhelming majority. Former St. Vincent and the Grenadines Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves said he had accepted an invitation from Prime Minister Pierre to attend the swearing-in ceremony. This morning I spoke with my brother and comrade, Honorable Philip J. Pierre. Congratulations on this fantastic victory to the SLP and people of St. Lucia, Gonsalves, 79, wrote on his Facebook page, adding in conversation, Philip extended an invitation, which I have accepted, to be at his swearing-in ceremony on Friday, December 5th. Labour stays together. Gonsalves had hoped to lead his Unity Labour Party to an unprecedented 6th consecutive victory at the polls, but lost by a 14-1 margin to the New Democratic Party (NDP) in the November 27 polls. Pierre guided his SLP to a 14-1 victory over the main opposition United Workers' Party (UWP) in Monday's polls, with the UWP's leader Alan Chasnet being the only winner of the party. The other two seats in the 17-member parliament have been won by independent candidates, former Prime Minister Stephenson King and former Government Minister Richard Frederick, both of whom are expected to form part of the new cabinet, as has been the case in 2021 when Pierre led the SLP to a victory by a 13-1 margin. Pierre has said that he expects to name the new cabinet by next week, adding, "We have to do a few things. We have to get the value-added tax-free day going, and I want to tell the public servants that they will get their back pay as promised." And that has brought us to the end of this edition of Capital News. On behalf of the news team, I'm Maya Wharton, thanking you for staying with us, and do enjoy the rest of your evening.